In this video, we delve into a central concept of Stoic philosophy. Let your actions speak, not your words. Discover the ancient wisdom behind why Stoics emphasized actions over promises, and how this approach leads to a more purposeful, fulfilling life. Learn how adopting this Stoic principle can help you lead with integrity, gain respect, and cultivate personal growth. This is a timeless reminder for anyone seeking to improve their character, strengthen their discipline, and live in harmony with their values. Tune in for practical insights on Stoicism and the power of silent action. Number 1. The Stoic principle of action over words. Stoicism, a philosophy founded in ancient Greece and later adopted by Roman thinkers, emphasizes a life of virtue, discipline, and wisdom. A central idea that all Stoics shared is that actions are far more important than words. They believe that speaking of high ideals means little if those words are not followed by corresponding actions. Marcus Aurelius, perhaps the most famous Stoic, once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Words can be powerful, but without action they become empty. Epictetus, another key Stoic philosopher, taught that self-improvement comes from doing, not from saying. He believed that while it's easy to talk about being virtuous or disciplined, true Stoicism requires daily effort and action. The Stoics argued that our focus should not be on impressing others with what we say, but on living in a way that reflects our principles. Actions, they said, are a reflection of our true character. This principle is just as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. In a world where social media amplifies everyone's words and opinions, the Stoic reminder to act rather than speak is a breath of fresh air. Think about it. How many people make grand promises online, but never follow through? Stoicism urges us to be different. It's about leading by example, doing the work quietly, and letting the results speak for themselves. In fact, many of the most successful people today follow this principle, whether they know it or not. So, how can you start living by the Stoic principle of action over words? First, set your intentions quietly and focus on small daily actions. Don't announce your goals. Instead, work on them every day. If you want to be more disciplined, start by waking up a little earlier each day. If you want to be kinder, perform small acts of kindness without expecting recognition. It's the accumulation of these small, consistent actions that define who we are. Living by this principle has several benefits. First, it builds trust. People know they can rely on you because your actions align with your words. Second, it fosters inner peace. When you're action-oriented, you stop worrying about what others think and focus on living your truth. Finally, it increases your personal effectiveness. Every day becomes a step forward in becoming the person you want to be. Number 2, the power of silent action. What is silent action? At its core, it's the practice of taking purposeful steps without the need for applause or external validation. Stoic philosophers believed in focusing on what's within your control and not worrying about what others think. Actions, they said, are far more telling than words. Whether it's building a career, a relationship, or self-discipline, the Stoics remind us that it's not about boasting or seeking recognition. It's about doing the work even when no one is watching. Words can be deceiving. We often hear people making grand promises or boasting about future plans, but how often are those words backed by action? Silent action, on the other hand, speaks volumes without uttering a single word. When you act without the need to announce your intentions, you're not distracted by external opinions. You're focused. You're moving. This is why those who practice silent action often outlast those who rely on words alone. So, how can you incorporate the power of silent action into your daily life? Start by identifying areas where you often seek approval or acknowledgement. Then try doing the same things, but without talking about them. Focus on the act itself and not the praise you might get. Over time, you'll realize that the satisfaction from knowing you've done the right thing is far greater than any external praise. And others will notice your quiet strength, even if you don't say a word. Silent action not only impacts the external world, it also strengthens you internally. When you focus on action rather than words, you cultivate inner resilience. You stop worrying about how others perceive you. Instead, you grow more confident in your abilities. This quiet confidence is incredibly powerful. Others will notice the calm strength in your actions, and you'll inspire them without saying a word. One of the most remarkable aspects of silent action is its ripple effect. When you lead by example, others are inspired to follow. You don't need to tell them what to do. They will naturally want to mirror your behavior because actions are contagious. In this way, silent action becomes a subtle but profound form of leadership, shaping others simply by living out your values. So how can you incorporate silent action into your own life? First, keep your goals to yourself. Resist the temptation to announce every plan you have. Instead, let your actions reveal your intentions. Second, focus on consistency over intensity. It's the small, steady actions that build long-term success. Lastly, practice patience. Silent action requires time and perseverance, but it's through this patient persistence that real transformation occurs. Number 3. Build trust through consistent actions. Trust is the glue that holds relationships together. Without it, personal connections, professional opportunities, and even our own self-confidence can crumble. But how is trust really built? It's not by making grand gestures or declarations. It's through small, consistent actions over time. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, believed that our character is revealed not by what we say, but by what we do. The more reliable our actions, the more people will trust us. Think about how easy it is to say something, but how difficult it can be to back it up. Words can be inspiring, but they are only meaningful if followed by actions. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This underscores the Stoic belief that actions should align with words, and only through this alignment can trust be nurtured. Consistency is key when it comes to building trust. It's not about one big act of kindness or reliability. It's about doing the right thing time and time again. In Stoicism, consistency reflects discipline. Seneca, another Stoic thinker, emphasized that true strength lies in a steady, dependable life. To build trust, you don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be consistent. People will trust you because they know what to expect from you, and they'll appreciate that reliability. In Stoicism, integrity is central to building trust. It's about aligning your actions with your values, no matter who is watching. The Stoics believe that you should not seek approval for your actions. Instead, you should be guided by your internal sense of right and wrong. When your actions are rooted in integrity, trust naturally follows. People begin to see you as someone who not only talks about doing the right thing, but consistently lives by those principles. So how can you start building trust through consistent actions? First, be clear about your values. Know what's important to you, and let those values guide your daily decisions. Second, be reliable. If you say you'll do something, do it. Even in small things like showing up on time or completing tasks, your consistency builds trust over time. Finally, avoid seeking validation. Instead of looking for praise, focus on your own internal measure of success. Trust grows when people see that you are steady and dependable. No matter the situation, trust is not built in a day, and it's not something that can be achieved quickly. Consistent actions compound over time. Whether it's in your career, your friendships, or your family life, the more consistently you act with integrity and reliability, the stronger the trust becomes. Over time, people will rely on you without hesitation because they've seen that your actions match your words. Number 4, actions lead to personal growth. We often hear people talk about their desire to change, to grow, or to become better versions of themselves. But Stoicism reminds us that growth doesn't happen by talking about it. It happens through action. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." This is a key Stoic idea. Your personal growth comes from what you do, not what you say. The Stoic philosophers believe that every action we take either brings us closer to our ideal self or takes us further away. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal meditations, often reflected on the importance of action, stating, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." To the Stoics, growth was a continuous process driven by consistent action, even in small ways. They knew that we don't become better by thinking about improvement. We become better by doing. One of the most important lessons from Stoicism is the power of small, consistent actions. Personal growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a process of incremental progress. Whether it's building a new skill, strengthening your body, or improving your emotional intelligence, every small step adds up. Seneca reminds us that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. To grow, we must use our time wisely, taking small, intentional actions every day. Growth doesn't happen in a straight line, and often the greatest growth comes from overcoming challenges. Stoicism teaches us that obstacles are part of the process. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you face a challenge or setback, embrace it. Use it as fuel for your growth." Every difficulty you encounter is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So how can you start applying actions toward your personal growth? First, set clear intentions, but don't stop there. Break those intentions into small, actionable steps that you can take each day. Start by doing one thing that aligns with your goal and repeat it consistently. Whether it's reading a book, practicing gratitude, or working out, let your actions define your growth. Over time, these daily habits will compound into significant personal transformation. Personal growth through action is a long-term journey. The more you commit to small, consistent efforts, the more you'll see yourself evolve. The key is patience and persistence. Over time, you'll notice that the actions you take daily, even the smallest ones, lead to profound changes in who you are and what you can accomplish. It's not about reaching perfection. It's about steady, continuous growth. Number 5. Integrity in action brings inner peace. Integrity is the alignment of your actions with your values, beliefs, and principles. It's about doing the right thing even when no one is watching, even when it's difficult. Integrity isn't just about honesty. It's about living in a way that consistently reflects your true self. In Stoicism, living with integrity is central to living a virtuous life. The ancient Stoics believed that when our actions match our values, we experience harmony within ourselves, and that's where inner peace comes from. Why does integrity bring inner peace? It's because when we act out of alignment with our values, we create internal conflict. We know deep down when we've compromised our principles, and this creates stress and guilt. But when our actions reflect our core beliefs, we feel whole and at peace. Stoicism teaches that true peace doesn't come from external sources, but from within. Living with integrity quiets the mind because there's no disconnect between who we are and what we do. Stoicism offers practical guidance on how to live with integrity. One key Stoic teaching is to focus only on what is within our control, our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions. By focusing on what we can control, we are empowered to live according to our values. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, reminded us to live by our principles regardless of the circumstances. By taking consistent, principled action, we align ourselves with virtue, which is the foundation of inner peace. How can we practice integrity in our everyday lives? First, take time to reflect on your core values. What principles matter most to you? Then, commit to living those values in your actions. Stoicism teaches us to avoid being swayed by external opinions or temporary emotions. Instead, ask yourself, what's the right thing to do? When you make decisions, let your values guide you. This might mean making hard choices or taking the path of discipline, but with each step, you'll feel the deep satisfaction of living authentically. The reward for living with integrity is not external recognition, but the quiet, lasting peace that comes from knowing you are living true to yourself. Integrity brings a sense of wholeness and freedom because you no longer have to live up to false standards or pretend to be someone you're not. As the Stoics believed, when you act with integrity, you live in harmony with the universe. Inner peace isn't something you chase. It's a natural result of living in alignment with your values. Thank you for watching the Stoicism Era. Remember, Stoicism isn't about talking. It's about living. Let your actions speak, and the world will notice. Embrace the Stoic principle of silent, consistent action, and watch as it transforms your life and relationships. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more Stoic wisdom.